Reviews on machines. Now, I enjoy them as much as the next person who enjoys that type of thing, but I often think that when you get a tool or a machine to review that's brand new, it's easy to look at the good points because you've been given it to review and overlook some of the bad points. And I also think that you need to live with a machine and use a machine in different environments and different times and different conditions to actually get the feel of it so you can leave a good detailed review. So after 35 hours use of putting it through its paces in various conditions, and this machine came to me secondhand already with 35 hours on it, I'm going to let you know what I think of the Etesia Hydro 80. Now, I used this on the weekend on a couple of commercial jobs. I haven't touched it or cleaned it. Where all the dirt, where all the grass collects, that's where it is, so I'll show you all that. It's very small, very compact. If I can go back a bit so you can see. Now, this fits easily in the van. I can still also get some pedestrian mowers in there. Plenty of room there for the other mower and all my other junk. Right, let's break it down. I'm going to show you the features of it and then the good bits and the bad bits, because no machine's ever 100% good. Let me show you. Right, the first thing I like about this machine, it is robust. I have got this thing stuck in various conditions and I've bashed into a few things. It already came with a ding on the back on the box, but it's got this metal bar that runs all the way around that seems to give it real good protection. When you're sat here, everything seems to be encased in this outer roll bar. There's nothing sticking up, there's nothing sticking out to get caught on at the catch. Now, if you're used to using ride-on mowers, there's always a branch sticking or a bit of a swing or something you're going around, you get caught on. So just from this seating position, you've got your handbrake and you've got your height adjustment, all real short. Again, they're not going to catch on anything. You've got your petrol kind of level there, you can keep an eye on that. You've got your box tilt here, which is again real low kind of when it's in position there when the box is closed. And obviously you've got your throttle. Right, the other things it has a steering knob. It has chunky forward and reverse. Turf-friendly wheels, nice and big there at the back. But the favourite thing, the most enjoyable thing of using this is this side discharge flap. I'm pretty sure this machine has now paid for itself purely by using this, which is the side chute deflector, because it's been a real game changer on cutting large kind of areas of grass that's been too long for other mowers and too long for this thing to box. Because yes, it does have its limits on actual boxing grass, which I'll tell you about in a minute. This, however, simply fits onto there, and that then becomes a real game changer, a wicked side discharge. Now, this is a single blade machine, okay? And if I can show you here, it has a chute. Now, that side chute there is the one thing I was quite surprised about on this mower. Now, they have the reputation of collecting it in any weather, and when I first had it, I was pretty much convinced it was. And it will collect in the wet if the grass is shorter, but as soon as you hit longer grass or grass that is lush, then it does clog up. And I think that side chute, I might be wrong, needs to be bigger, or it just the fact of you've got a single blade and that kind of grass coming up that side chute will always clog no matter what you do to it. For that to collect in all conditions, you would need to have a twin blade that sends it back, and the chute would need to be a lot lower than that is to collect. But saying that, I'm not going to complain about its capabilities. But if you are going to buy one and you think it's going to collect in pouring rain conditions, in long wet grass, it won't. It is a mower and it will clog up in wet conditions. So just bear that in mind. Now, mulching, I think if the grass was short and it was dry, yes, it would mulch. The only mulching I've done on this is when that chute is clogged and I've gone a little bit further and it really doesn't like it. But then I've been cutting in wet conditions that has clogged it. In dry conditions, this thing just fills that box, no problems, flies around, and it's surprising how much you can get in there. That easily tips back. You've got an inspection thing there. Now, for right or wrong, sometimes I will lift this and I'll just let the clip-ins come up the back. But you also have the option of doing this. That comes out of there. And then you can close this. And then grass will drop straight out. Now I've just dropped a load of grass in my friend's workshop, which I really don't think he's going to notice because, Matthew, it is a shit. On the front of the deck it has these anti-scalp rollers, and either side it has these anti-scalp wheels. Now, over the years I've known a few people who've owned these machines, and generally they don't tend to have these on, and I can see why, because going over curbs and up and down areas, these things do get caught. So I can imagine they are quite not easy to rip off, but things do get ripped off. Seat real comfortable and fully adjustable. These side panels are easy to remove. Just undo those. And there's a third one. And off it comes. So one of the things I would like to improve would be able to check this oil a little bit easier than taking the panel off, but as you saw, it took less than a minute to get that panel off, so it's not that difficult to actually get in there, check your oil. Now everything in here is real compact and designed in a way to keep the size of this machine down and to fit around that Kawasaki engine. Down in there are the belts and the pulleys. I've not had the pleasure yet of taking the deck off or trying to replace the belts, but I've heard it's a bit of a ball ache. So in the winter when I've got some downtime, I will learn how to do it. So if I need to do it on a job, it won't take me 10 hours to do it. But yeah, once you've done something once, it's a little bit easier. This collection box bag at the back, okay, you can see it's had a bit of a repair, but there, it's a steel tubular frame with a bag that's easily washed. Right, let's show you the engine, the good bit. Same kind of principle here. You've got these little, that one's already done. You've got one there. You've got another one there. Give them a twisty. And then this panel just lifts it out. Put that to one side. Battery here, straight on top, easy to get. There's your pulleys and all that down there. Right, this next bit took a bit of working out. It's so simple, but it took me 5 minutes of scratching my head to work out how to tip the seat forward. But it's a lovely little feature, let me show you. In here, you've got these two little kind of stays that once you've pulled them in like that, you can tip your seat. And then we get to the good stuff. Kawasaki FS481V. Which means nothing to me, by the way. I just know it does the business. So you got your oil there for your hydro kind of drive, air filter, all the bits you need to get to that engine are serviceable there. So like I say, real compact, real sturdy, never let me down, does the job. The side discharge, amazing. I've used that on so many jobs, it's just been great, especially on kind of this year when it's been wet and I've gone to a commercial site after 2 weeks. It's just too long to box off, but I want to be able to throw those clip-ins sideways. It's great. I keep the side chute in the van, slap it on, let it fly, and it looks good. It's good enough for some of the jobs. Let me put this back together and I'll give you a roundup and tell you the things that I would change. If I designed it, there would be one thing, the one thing that I would definitely change would be this. Right, this year's all back together, spick and span. Well, could do with a clean. Now, before I tell you the one thing I would really like to change, there was one more thing that I didn't point out, which I think it needs, and the newer models do have, is a diff lock. Now, there's been plenty of occasions where I've gone down a slope, especially when it's wet, and trying to reverse one of the wheel spins. So I've had to come off the bit of grass I'm cutting, turn around and go forward. Don't lose traction going forward, but in reverse, like a lot of mowers, one of the wheel spins. So a diff lock would be great. New models do have diff lock. But the one thing that I would like to change, and it's something that kind of my wife tends to say to me, I would like an extra couple of inches. And by that I mean this, my height adjustment. Now I don't know what the height adjustments are, but I would like that 5 to at least give me up to about a 7. Because an extra couple of inches does make all the difference, so I've heard. But I do know it would make all the difference on some areas of grass that I cut, because I could box it at a higher level, drop it down and box it again. I'd be able to collect that long wet grass without it clogging. But Again, I'm presuming that's been designed into this machine to give it the maximum lift, because obviously you've got that engine there. So I'm just presuming, like the rear chute, I would like wider. Now that might be the optimal size for kind of airflow and stuff like that, to give you the maximum collecting on the high lift blades. Might be same with the deck, that's the maximum height they can give you. I have never used this mower lower than setting 3. Never got down to 201 or any lawns. Not that I do immaculate lawns, you might have noticed, but yeah, generally I'm cutting most of my stuff on 4 and 5, and that's actually fairly low. 4 is quite a low cut, so I would like to see that higher. Apart from that, love the machine. I haven't regretted buying it one bit, and it's been a real money earner because I can sling it in the van, go and do an area of grass in the afternoon, do it on my own, whip around with this, job done. Now, I'm sure I've missed loads of bits on this machine, and if you've got one, let me know in the comments what you think of it. And I've not been paid by Etesia or anything like that to do this review. It's a machine that I've bought, I've used. I know a lot of people don't like YouTubers and people doing reviews of machines they've just been given by a manufacturer, because like I said, you're inclined to give it a good review. But this thing, yeah, I've had no problems whatsoever. Right, if you watch a little bit further into this video, and thanks for watching, give the video a like if you can, and subscribe if you want to see more action of what I get to down the road. Keep watching, and I'll drop a load of clips of me using this mower in different conditions. And yeah, it's, like I say, it's been a real pleasure to use. Right, thanks for checking in, catch you all later, and I hope you are having a good day, whatever you are doing, wherever you are in the world. Right, see ya, bye.